This is Bill Hunt. I'm here with Kevin Ryan. We just finished the panel on the view from the CMO suite. And Kevin, the first question I have for you is, what do you think Leonardo da Vinci, who's standing here behind us, would think about search marketing?
I think he would make Wolfram Alpha look like a child's play almost immediately. I think he would have torn it apart and made Google look like a 3-year-old with some Crayolas.
I would agree. So that's why it's fitting that we're here in front of this. So the real question is, now in your role as the CMO of Web Visible, so you've crossed the chasm of being a search marketer, being a marketer, running the SES show, and now you're actually got a proper job and have to work for a living. So in the session you gave us some really good advice on do's and don'ts, and I'd like you to share that with this audience. And so what are some of the things you'd recommend people do, or when people come to pitch you, what are some rules that you wish they knew before they came in the door?
You know, there's usually, and any good CMO has sold something at some point in their life, so they're familiar with the sales process. So you know good sales from bad sales, and you know good salespeople from bad salespeople. My advice is always do your homework. Spend as much time as you can learning about the company that you're going in to pitch. Find out what their needs are, and if you can't figure it out on your own, one of the best things that you can do is just send a very short, in your communications, be brief, be succinct. Ask, see if you can get some time prior to the meeting, and even if it's just like 3 to 5 minutes to go over your pain points, that in and of itself would go further than I think most people go.
And I think that's the problem is, again, most salespeople, they want to come in and tell you about them and what they do and why they do it, and almost forget about that they're there to solve a problem that somebody has. So I think that's great advice. One of the things that we heard earlier is that CMOs actually don't have the luxury to spend a lot of time on search and thinking about it, even though most search marketers think it's the greatest marketing tactic ever invented. So what's a recommendation you would have for search marketers to try to elevate that on the CMO's agenda?
Well, I mean, a lot of it isn't what we talked about. Is basically the role of a CMO is that you're the chief sales support officer. You're you're a support unit for the rest of the internal constituents. So the more you can elevate how important it is, and again, take those pain points and translate them into a specific search need, I think it'll be tremendously ahead of anybody in the competitive set. One thing a lot of people don't spend much time doing is actually showing practical application, and we spend probably more than most in the search realm. So we're pretty literate on what's happening and what we need to be doing. But we're always open to new things, particularly for people who have invested the time and interest in learning about what we do and how we do it.
Great. Well, thanks, Kevin. There's some great advice, and I think anybody that's trying to reach and get more money out of the CMO should heed that advice. So thanks, everyone, for listening.